Hey, what up, everybody? It's Moss, and we're coming to you with some Pioneer content today. Now, it is June the 12th, and realistically, I would love to be playing some Modern right now, but Mana Traders is being kind of iffy right now. So, I decided to run back one of my favorite Kindred archetypes in Pioneer, and that's Goblins. Now, I'm taking this mono red Goblins list that did really well at SCG Las Vegas and came in 5th in their 5K and taking it for a run through the format. Now, if you've seen any of the videos on the Team Primetime channel about this deck, you should know basically how it runs. Unlike the Rakdos version that's over there, though, we're running a lot more aggressive of a creature package. We're running Foundry Street Denizen, Legion Loyalist, and then Goblin War Chief and Ringleader and Squee all in the main. This deck just wants to overload the board with as many creatures as possible and then just swing in for big chunks of damage. Now, the mana base really supports this. You've got Nykthos Shrine to Nyx to basically just pump your devotion up as high as possible, throw as many creatures from your hand or from the top of your deck with Snoop as possible, and then just go hard and go in. Now, the sideboard, a lot more of the same. All right, you've got Goblin Trash Master. It's a good replacement for some of these lords over here, especially when you're up against things like the Is It in Soul deck. Get rid of an artifact, pump up your goblins. Pretty easy. Chain Whirler to deal with green and these like low to the ground, really low toughness creature decks. Magebane Lizard for the Phoenix matchup and for the Lotus Field matchup. Rending Volley to deal with Amalia, although not having anything to stop life gain is going to be huge. Unlicensed Hearse for graveyard decks. And to deal with vampires, we've got Leyline of Combustion, which is obviously like all the ley lines. If you start with it in your opening hand, it gets to be on the battlefield for free. But if any of your creatures or you become the target of a spell or an ability, you deal 2 to that targeting opponent. That's huge because all of these black based creature decks are going to be, or really black based decks as a whole, are going to be targeting your stuff as much as possible. So just dealing with that, super impactful. Witchstalker's Frenzy is there to deal with a Vein Ripper off the top of the deck. We've got plenty of things to sacrifice to its ward cost, and just making sure that we can take it out before it starts gaining too much life and getting too much value is going to be huge. But hopefully by the time that they're hitting their turn 3 Vein Ripper, we're already putting them down to like 5 life or less, because this deck can get crazy out of nowhere, especially again with Foundry Street Denizen and cards like Goblin Pile Driver that just accrue so much value for all of your like creature tokens and your creatures coming off your deck. It's gonna be insane. But I can't wait to run this through a Pioneer League. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, thumb up this video, and do everything else that these other YouTube content creators are telling you to do, because it's really going to help grow the channel and help me cater some more of this content to what you guys are looking for. But I'll see you guys in match number 1. All right, match number 1, and we are going to be on the draw. This hand is okay. Admittedly, not having a 1-drop kind of sucks, and it almost seems like a mulligan, but having Battle Cry and Conspicuous Snoop are pretty good, along with this Cavernous Soul. So we'll go ahead and try it out. Opponent is a Leyline of the Guild Pack deck, so we're playing against Mono Green. That's not good for us. And if they have a turn 2 Nykthos, we're really gonna be hurting. Alright, just Den of the Bugbear and say go. And again, this is probably the time to be playing something like Goblins, especially if you can get a like good opening hand with something like a Goblin Chain Whirler, because just being able to really drop everything out of your hand and just destroy their board is huge. We're probably going to be a lot better set up for a game 2 than we are in this particular game right now. They play a Kiora, they're untapping their Nykthos, and oh my gosh, a turn 2 Storm the Festival is insane. Our opponent had the nuts in this game. Whew. I don't know how we're really going to get through this. All they hit is a Trailblazer and another Leyline, though. That's not the worst thing. Admittedly, next turn, they're going to be able to flash back that Storm the Festival and really deal some big damage to us. Us not hitting anything off of our deck, though, is going to be just as bad. Alright, so red. Play our Snoop. And, these are such bad draws for us. Okay. Here go, opponent. I don't know how we're really going to make our way through this. Because right now they're just going to activate for 11 mana on turn 3. Okay, flashback Storm the Festival. They hit... No. They're just casting an Invasion of Ixalan? Interesting. And they hit another Kiora. So they're not as, like, creature heavy as one would think, and they're just casting another Storm the Festival. We're probably super dead here. Okay. Yeah, we're probably very, very dead. Okay. You know what, though? We're good. They revealed a Cavalier of Thorns with their other Invasion of Ixalan. They are really heavy on the non-creatures with this. And we know that they've got another Kiora in hand. We're not winning this one, so I think we're just going to go ahead and call it here. But man, our opponent had it all. Okay. So Chain Whirlers are coming in. I almost want to bring in the Magebane Lizards considering how many non-creatures our opponent has in their deck, but I know that that's just super bad given what we're dealing with. Alright, so the things to cut here. You really want to cut a lot of the slower stuff. Cacophony, Scamp, and Fanatical Firebrand are definitely staying in. I really want to cut some of these Hobgoblin Bandit Lords and these Goblin War Chiefs, because one's going to give all of our stuff haste, but really, how good is that going to be here for us? It's actually going to be really good. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, I've just talked myself into dropping both of the Hobgoblin Bandit Lords and running it. Alright, we're going to be on the play for game number 2. This hand is better. Admittedly, one land isn't the greatest, but just having these Fanatical Firebrands is going to be huge. And our opponent doesn't have the opening Leyline, so that's a pretty good start. If we can just hit our land drops from here, I think we're going to be fine. Ooh, and all they had was a Sunken Citadel. That's perfect for us. Okay. This is a pretty slow start from our opponent. Unfortunately, not hitting the other land here is the opposite of what we want to be doing. We're just going to play our Foundry Street Denizen because it's going to be slow. Okay, our opponent Invasions of Ixalan's us. They reveal a Forest. would kill for a land drop right now, though. Alright, so play Legion Loyalist, trigger our Foundry Street Denizen. They play their Forest. If they're going to go with a big blocker here, we're... Okay. Outcast Trailblazer isn't the worst. Okay, so now we're just going to go this, play our Rundevel Horde Master, and then we're just going to swing with the team here. And we're going to hit our opponent down to 7. As long as we can avoid them having just a big board here, we might be okay. Alright, let's see what our opponent does. Okay, opponent's going for something. Just another Trailblazer. Honestly, we're okay with that, because next turn we can just go either double Firebrand or double... We're going for, like, multiple 1-drops. Okay, yeah, we gotta play all the 1-drops here. As cool as it would be to play, like, Pile Driver and then just try to go in for as much damage as possible, I don't think we're super priced into that right now. And realistically, this should be a good matchup for us. Hey, there we go. But again, we're just in such a rough spot if we didn't hit lands. We're going to run it back, just like this. Okay, game number 3. We got 2 lands, a Legion Loyalist, and a bunch of like Lords and other effects. I think we can keep this. Hope that they don't have anything crazy. They are mulliganing. Ooh, they're mulliganing to 4. Okay, this might be it. This might be the thing that we need. Because we're going to go Loyalist on 1, Rundevel on 2. Unless we end up hitting a... Okay. Opponent just goes Lair, no creature. Oh, Fanatical Firebrand. We're still going to swing in with the Loyalist. We're not going to push it too much. Unless they just play a bad 1-drop here. Nope. They're going for the Invasion of Ixalan. How badly do we want to try and press our luck? Alright. We're going to go for the Rundevel here. Swing. As good as Snoop would be, I think we just need to try and push as much damage as we can. Oh, wow, they just plotted a Trailblazer. Okay. Now, we want to do as much damage as possible, so we're just going to swing Squee. And stack it so that the Squee Goblin comes out and then Loyalist triggers. Alright, opponent's down to 9. If we hit another land, then going like Battlecry Goblin's going to be kind of sweet. Okay, they cast their Trailblazer for free. Get 1 mana. They have a Nykthos. They're down to 2 cards in hand. What can they do here that's going to really be terrifying? They could... Okay, they're just... Okay. Okay, another Trailblazer. Double Trailblazer. double Trailblazer is certainly a move, but they are going to draw just a crap ton of cards. They don't use the mana. All right. Well, now the question is, well, I know exactly what we're doing here. We're going to load up the board with Firebrand and Loyalist and then just swing through for as much as possible. Opponents really just kind of sitting there mulling over their death. It's a bad spot. I'm so sorry, opponent. I know that mulling to 4 feels terrible. Yep. All right, and there we go. Rough beat for our opponent, but we got our first match. See you guys in match number 2. All right, match number 2. This hand looks fine, actually. Admittedly, it's a little land heavy, but we can go Den Loyalist, land Rundevelt, and then really start going ham from there. And we've got a Goblin Ringleader on turn 4 to really just kind of clear everything up. We're playing against spirits. Okay. This would be a great time for us to have a like Cavern of Souls, but I mean, I guess we'll be fine. Let's see if they want to block with their Mausoleum Wanderer. I can't imagine that they would. Yeah, opponent just takes 1. They play a Lord, hitting us for 3. Okay, protection from blue with Pile Driver is going to be crazy. Now, next turn, we're probably going to go Loyalist and Rundevelt and hope that everything goes well from there. We really need to make sure that they don't have a counter spell. Like avoiding the Supreme Phantom here, or not the Supreme Phantom, the Flash one. Oh gosh, I can't remember its name right now. But avoiding the Flash Phantom that's just going to like tuck one of our spells underneath it is going to be important for us. And it cleverly gets around like countering stuff too. But again, unblock creature. Alright, opponent's just getting in with the Mausoleum Wanderer and the Supreme Phantom. Okay, so swinging in for a bit. I think the smart thing is to just kind of bait it out. Play another Legion Loyalist, play a Battle Cry Goblin. There it is, Spell Queller. Okay, so we did bait it out of him, which is good. Now, unfortunately, as much as I would love to attack here, I think we are just going to have to run it with the 1. Alright, so Rending Volley is going to be such a good card for us in the side. None of our stuff having reach is pretty bad. Honestly, if we could have our Chain Whirler get Death Touch, it would completely change up the character of this match. Okay. we suddenly became wildly unfavored here. Yikes. Okay, we're super dead. Just super duper dead here. Yeah. Womp womp. Sad trombone noises. Alright. On to sideboarding. So, Rending Volley's immediately in. And Chain Whirler coming in. What are we taking out? Again, probably the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, because as good as it is, it's not going to be that great a hit. And then I really want to cut like Cacophony Scamp Fanatical Firebrand, but that one's kind of iffy. Legion Loyalist is fine, especially with Foundry Street Denizen. Again, we just get put in such a huge series of weird spots. I do think that we want to keep in the War Chief, and then we'll just trim a Scamp and a Firebrand. Ringleader's not really going to do much work for us, so we'll just bring this Firebrand back. Say go. Okay. Going to be on the play for game number 2. Hand would be good if we had just one extra land, so we're going to mull that. Cavern is the exact card that we needed. Alright, so what are we putting back here? I think we're just going to put back one of these mountains. And let's go ahead and just like not really reveal too much information and just play mountain and that. Okay, opponent is just going to play Seachrome and Mausoleum Wanderer. Alright, we draw another mountain for turn. We're going to play that on Goblin. And then we're going to... I think we're actually going to just play the Battlecry Goblin here. Which... they're gonna definitely block that if they see that we're coming in for 3. But they're definitely gonna block now that we're just gonna swing in with a 2-1. They might be willing to trade, yeah. Maybe a little bit of a punt there, because at least our Foundry Street Denizen would have survived the block. But we get blessed with another. Okay, and then we're just going to go for that. Yeah, this would have been a little bit better had we done it the opposite way. Swing in for 3. Next turn we can pump our Battlecry Goblin, which is going to be huge. And then we start getting to make creatures every turn. Knockout Blow was unexpected, but we do get a trigger here. And we get a Fanatical Firebrand next turn, which will be pretty awesome. Yeah, we're really getting punished for that punt that we made. Let's see if they end up having another Core Spirit Walker. No, they have a wedding announcement. Interesting. Okay, so our opponent is just gonna have to take all of this. Admittedly, they're making a good bit of blockers here. we're just sitting on this rending volley. It would be awesome if they tried to just play Catilda here, but I doubt they're bringing Catilda in this matchup, unlike what they would with vampires. Skyclave Apparition. Hit the battlefield. Okay. Let's go ahead and just pop this. All right, let's animate. And we're going to go ahead and kill this and swing. All right. Opponent's down to 11. But again, we're not really in the best of shape right now. And drawing all of these lands feels real bad. Really? They Odawara the Den of the Bugbear back to our hand. Okay. We'll just get in with the Skyclave token. Opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. Alright, they're starting to get in with the Mutavault. We'll take 3. We're not going to let this get disrupted in any way. I mean, if we can make some damage happen here, but they're just casting a Rattle Chains. Man. All the flash spells out of this Spirits deck is really going to be the thing that gets us here. That, and again, that punt we had. Brutal. Brutal, brutal. Alright, is our opponent going to get us in this match? I think they will. And they've got 2 Mutavaults. Yeah. We are very dead. I'm fairly certain. Let's just say go. And if they flash something in, they might have us. No? I mean, we gotta hope that they get kind of greedy with a block or with an attack. If they animate both of their Mutavaults, they would hit us for 9. But I think they're just going for a secure line in the air. Yeah. Oh my god, all the lands. Alright, Den of the Bugbear. I guess we'll activate. Show us what you got, opponent. Show us what you got. Yup. Yup. Opponent blocks. And this is honestly just a free block. You don't. Is opponent just going to take the 4? No. They're taking 3? Okay. Maybe they're doing something? Not quite sure what. but something. Okay, Supreme Phantom, and then they animate. Getting in for 8. We will block on the ground and take 4. Portable hole. Kind of surprised our opponent didn't do that before blocks, but we are not quite dead, but we're close. We'll just say go. Okay, opponent animates and animates, and they swing out, and then we will channel our SCGCONs on. Alright, that's 6 down to 1. We don't have anything that gets us out of this. Pile driver's not it. GG's opponent got us with the good mono blue plays. Alright, see you guys in match number 3. Alright, we are in match number 3, and this hand is kind of a keep. Our opponent's mulliganing to 6, so it really makes it a little bit more worth it for us. We got Legion Loyalist, Conspicuous Snoop, Cacophony Scamp, and a Horde Master. And it looks like they're an Amalia gamer. Okay, well, we're going to start with a Cacophony Scamp and say go. And I think we're going to Horde Master on 2, just so that we can potentially kill whatever it is that they're trying to do. Alright, yeah, we definitely need to kill this as soon as possible. Alright. And yeah, we're going to sacrifice this to proliferate none and deal 2 to the Innkeeper. Okay. Sentinel of the Nameless City. That is a terrible beat for us. Alright, let's play a Snoop. Okay. So the good news is we can play Battle Cry and activate next turn, which will be kind of sweet. Honestly, this deck probably feels really bad into Amalia. Like, we're not going to be able to reasonably block through their Sentinel, especially once it starts pumping itself up. And then we have no main board responses to the combo. And we have no sideboard ways of dealing with all the life gain. So we are basically on the race 'em or bust plan. Now is opponent going to attack? Because we will happily block. Chances are they will kill our Snoop. Okay. So, plan for us is Cavern of Souls, naming Goblin. Because we can battle cry and then pump. Yeah, I feel like battle cry and pump is probably the best thing for us here. Opponent can Coco this turn. Coco is a very real thing for us to worry about. Now, I would love to go Legion Loyalist and swing, but everything's gonna like die in that instance, and Cacophony Scamp dying is like fine. It's fine, but we're dealing more damage this way. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. Battlecry Goblin attacks, which doesn't make that as great for us, but we get to get another spell or two off the top. Oh, decisions. Okay. I think the line for us is gonna have to be pump this, make our team bigger, and swing in with everybody but the Horde Master. Trigger, make a Goblin. Goblin's a 2/2. If we can make everything else live. Okay. They're blocking the Cacophony Scamp. Fantastic. We're killing the Sentinel. No matter what, Sentinel's dying. Oh, opponent's courting for 2. Okay, if they have it. Yep, there's Amalia. And again, this is just like the big disadvantage to what I feel like the red-black version has. It's the combo-ish lines of just sacking your creatures over and over again to make mana, get cards off the top of your deck, and hopefully machine gun down your opponent's creatures. If they... Oh... Okay, Deep Cavern Bat is interesting. They're probably taking the Legion Loyalist. Yep. And they do get a Explore here. Okay, they explore on that. They see another Amalia. Is she going to the yard? She is. And a Lunarch Veteran. Okay. Oh, perfect for us. Perfect for us. So another Legion Loyalist. We get a Foundry Street Denizen. We get to pump the team. We get to swing. And are we going to get there? Are we getting there against Amalia, the threat of this red deck? Awesome. All right, game number 2. So Amalia's going to be iffy. We definitely need the Rending Volleys. We definitely need to bring in these Chain Whirlers. Witchstalker's Frenzy is a possibility. Like all the other matchups, I do feel like we just need to get rid of the Bandit Lords because they're a little slow. And maybe the Ringleaders? They are just like a touch too slow and they just kind of sit there, especially in this hand. And say go. Alright. Opponent's getting to pick if they want to be on the play or not. And unlike Lorcana, there's like no reason why you should ever choose to be on the draw. Well, really, even in Lorcana, you probably want to be on the play as much as possible to limit your draws. This hand is good. So, admittedly, not having the double red to get your Conspicuous Snoop online is a little bit of a bad beat. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and kill the Lunarch Veteran there. Blooming Marsh. Prosperous Innkeeper. Alright, another red. We're going to go ahead and play Loyalist and swing. If they decide to try and go for the combo next turn, we can disrupt it with the Rending Volley we have in hand, and then turn 3 we can go for a Pile Driver or a Horde Master and still hold this up. Okay, opponent's just representing Coco. That's all they're doing right now. Is just saying, hey, look at me. I have Coco in my hand. Or they're just saying, hey, look at me. I've got another Innkeeper. Okay, so we have to go for the Horde Master play here because we want our creature to survive combat, unlike in the last match. And we will say go. Us threatening this Rending Volley is really just pulling a lot of weight right now. And unfortunately, well, they do have the ability to chord here. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and play out our Conspicuous Snoop. Another Horde Master is so good. Okay. No attack. Opponent just passes. Okay, so in response, kill it. Would I like to pay the 3? No, thank you. Alright, opponent, if you got it. And opponent has it. Do we have any way to survive this? No, we do not. Okay. So opponent just wanted the insurance. That's fine. We will be on the play for game number 3. And this hand is a little medium. We're not doing anything with this hand if we keep it. So we are going to mulligan. And this one's better. Pile Driver, Caverns. The Firebrand is really going to just carry its weight here. Alright, we're going to Cacophony Scamp. Say go. The reason we're not going Firebrand on one is just so we can potentially pump everything. I think we do just need the pile driver here and hopefully deal as much damage as we can next turn. Do we want to sack it? No. What would be great is if we could draw a Rending Volley. Did not hit a Rending Volley. So the question is, do we want to... Okay. Let's represent removal spell and Fanatical Firebrand. Okay. We will always yield, and we're going to say yes right now to do nothing there and kill that. Okay. Now our opponent is holding up Coco. We're going to be empty-handed here. Oh, Chain Whirler's so good. Okay. Alright, we're swinging for 10 here. Our opponent is going to Coco. They were thinking about it. I do think that we need to just go ahead and sack that. Nothing there. And we'll deal the extra damage. Ooh, Cacophony Scamp off the top. It's going to be real nice. Unfortunately, we don't really... Oh my gosh, our opponent whiffed! The Coco whiff! Let's go! Oh, alright. GG's. Sorry about that Coco whiff opponent, but whew, beating really the third, fourth most powerful deck in the format. It's pretty sweet. Alright, see you guys in match number 3. Alright, match number 4. We're going to be on the play. And you know what? This isn't the worst hand to be on the play with. I'll keep it. Opponent doesn't have a companion. I don't have one either. So we're just going to start things out nice and kind of slowly with a Cacophony Scamp. They are a black deck. And they play a Deathrite Shaman? Interesting. Well, probably means that they're doing something. I want to say that they might be Golgari Roots. Yeah, I'm going to sack that. No proliferating. And then I'm just going to deal 2 damage here. Okay, so this isn't super great for me. Yep, there's Insidious Roots. Okay. So, in this situation, I am going to play that and this. If I can get... Let's even just say, let's say I can get another land so that we can get... Ooh, Rumble Belt Maverick. Alright. not going to be good. Because I think in this matchup, we're... Wow, okay. I mean, I feel like the thing to do here is just be as aggressive as possible. And it's like swing with everything. And it's like next turn we can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Okay, Tyvar is a blocker. Priest is good. Okay, so what can they do here? Okay, so Scrap Heap Scrounger can't block. I think we're going to sack this, let all of our damage happen, and then we're going to kill this. Mountain God exiled, and okay, Pile Driver. Put a counter on something, and are you just going to bring back the Scrap Heap? No, you get another Tyvar? I don't know what our opponent could be doing right now. Okay, they get Deathrite. They will exile a creature, gain some life. I think we still do fine here. Because, like, we make 2 creatures off of this. Like, maybe we should have gone face, deal 4, or deal 3. I mean, there's some logic to a lot of the lines we could have taken. But taking out a plant token just felt right. They will get to make another blocker, which is important. Okay. So, let's make red. We will pay 2. And then we're going to pump. And then we're gonna swing. They just make land? They're just adding mana? What are you doing with 2 mana? Okay, Root's opponent, you're doing things. I don't know if those things are good by any means, but you're doing things. Okay. Well, you've got 2 blockers. All of this is coming at you. And everything's coming at you. Okay, sweet. All right, so feel like those ley lines come in whenever you or yeah. Ley lines come in, maybe Hearse comes in. And I just feel like it's Hobgoblin Bandit Lord and maybe some of the smaller things. Like Fanatical Firebrand wasn't particularly great there. And Ringleader's not going to be particularly good. Like Cacophony Scamp scales up. And honestly, Hearse is kind of a iffy. We'll bring it in on the draw and take it out on the play. Okay, so this hand feels fine. Admittedly, not having another red is going to be kind of iffy. If our opponent has a creature on turn 1, we don't feel super hot about this. But it's just a Deathrite Shaman. Still better than anything we could be doing. I'm just going to play a Cacophony Scamp, say go. Now if they attack, we'll kill it. It's pretty good. And then we have Hearse on 2 to just start picking things out of their yard. Okay, Stitcher Supplier. Really good. And we're going to eat their Forsaken Miner. Okay, so admittedly, we would like to get another, like, red land here. Let's just see what our opponent does. Okay, we're going to take Tyvar and Forsaken Miner, Sega. Really, we probably should have taken Forsaken Miner and the Deathrite Shaman, but opponent really just looks like they're stuck on 1 land. Opponent plays another Deathrite Shaman. Okay, so now we're going to... Question is, what do we want to do here? I think the move is... We're just going to play the Snoop, see the top card, and hope that everything works out for us. Okay, opponent plays Forsaken Miner. We'll exile these two. Fatal Push. Okay, so well, now we can do some things. So we can play Legion Loyalist, make 3 mana. We'll just exile those 2 cards from our library. Okay. And then we're going to swing with these. Alright, so now they're gonna just block our Legion Loyalist with the Stitcher Supplier. But we are forcing a block. Oh, no. Opponent's just letting it go. Okay. So they might be sitting on something insane here. Yeah, they're sitting on a Priest of Forgotten Gods. That's pretty good. Okay. So I think the big thing is we want to swing with at least these 3. It's whenever Legion Loyalist and 2 others swing. So it's just, we're gonna have to do it like this. They got First Strike, Haste, Trample. Yeah, makes sense that you're blocking there and there. Taking 5. So this ley line's actually doing a good bit to hold back some of what our opponent's doing. Now they are not really super worried about doing that. Let's see. Exile target creature from a graveyard. Okay. Let's just go ahead and target the supplier and the miner. And then they can use their Deathrite Shaman. Choosing not to, though. Are they about to... No, they're just playing a Maverick. They're not really doing anything rootsy right now. probably real good for us. Another priest. Okay, we can't really bring back our squee, unfortunately. Unfortunate squee. Okay, so let's just go ahead and attack in with this goblin. I mean, they have to block. Yeah. There we go. We'll kill the priest first. Okay. Opponent's definitely just going to target our squee in the graveyard. Interesting. They go for Fiend Artisan. Now, are they going to go for an attack? Doesn't look like they do. Okay. Well, we're just going to eat their Maverick and a priest. Let's see. We can make 2. That's 3. Not necessarily enough to do anything too crazy here. Okay. This unlicensed hearse is honestly putting in a lot of work right now against this opponent. Now the question is, if they go to kill our Horde Master with their priest activation, do we animate the den? And I think the answer is yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and make some red. And then we will tap you, activate. We will sacrifice this. Okay. Mountain and... Okay. Cacophony Scamp. Not bad, not bad. Let's see. Now, I think what we actually have to do here is we do need to eat our land and that just to stop them from getting the trigger. Yep, because that would have let them get potentially a roots there. Okay, we'll take 5. Rough, 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 rough. Only that was crew 1. Thing is, they cannot activate their priest here. They could try to activate their Deathrite Shaman, but that's going to just have our unlicensed herds eat whatever they target. They have to try and get through what we're doing. We're going to just throw this into combat whenever, wherever. I think we have this game locked up. It just depends on what our opponent does. But let's see what they can do. Alright, opponent's moving to combat. And does nothing. And we're just gonna go ahead and move to combat with our Cacophony Scamp. Okay, we're running our creatures into one another. And do we get there? Is Cacophony Scamp just gonna ping him down? Okay, you're targeting Squee. We'll target that. Well, let's see. Let's see. And Leyline of Combustion triggers. And we get there. Let's go. Alright, beating Golgari Roots. Alright, it's the 3-1. Can we make it to 4-1? Let's find out. See you guys in the next one. Alright. Round number 5. And we're going to be on the draw with a pretty good 7. Our opponent's mulled down to 6. We're playing against another black deck. I think this might be vampires. They're thought seizing us. Either way, we've got a haste creature on 1. They're probably taking the Horde Master if I had to guess anything. Yeah. Okay. No Thoughtseize bug for us. So we're just going to go ahead and swing. Yeah, they're definitely vampires. Alright, so we're going to swing. Okay. Well, our opponent can have fun with their 1 land. Okay, okay. We're doing things. Little bit of a flood out here. Well, let's see what we get off this. Okay, Ringleader is going to be sick. Okay, if they have the Vein Ripper combo. Hey, no Vein Ripper combo. Okay. So we do just need to tap out and go for it here. Ooh, hot diggity dog. Alright. Well. And then next turn we just get to be empty-handed. I do think that we need to play out Conspicuous Snoop first. They drop Blood Crypt. Play Castle, Harvester. One card in hand. Okay. We're going to play out that. Let's see what they got. Alright. Love a Scamp off the top. How strongly do we want to be free of this Blood Tithe Harvester? And I think the answer is pretty heavily. We want to be away from this thing. That way it's not taking out our only source of potential card advantage. They drop a mountain. Ooh, they're playing basic mountain in their deck. Okay. Really good against all of the land destruction that's becoming kind of prevalent. They play Cavern on Vampire, obviously. And they play Snorse. Let's go. Okay, so they're one of the other Vegas decks. Alright, so we're going to swing out here. I feel like that's the only way for us to do this. We do just need to swing out. Okay, so I do think we need to sack that, proliferate 0, and kill the Snorse while we can. Kill the Snorse at the source. Okay, another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Not the worst thing to be playing against us, but certainly not the best. Horde Master off the top is going to be huge. Okay, so I think we have all but managed to really get through this matchup. Okay, so we're going to happily... And opponent scoops it up. All right. Against one of the top 3 decks of the format, we get there. So, Leyline of Combustion in. Witchstalker's Frenzy in. And then let's take out Firebrands, which are a little slow. Hobgoblins, which are slow. And I kind of want to do a 1-1 split of Foundry, Street Denizen, and Firebrand because Firebrand did its job last game. Firebrand taking out that Blood Tithe Harvester was huge. Okay, this hand is miserable. If we didn't have anything, this hand is significantly better. We will put a second Snoop to the bottom, and say go. Okay. Boo-doo-doo. Opponent plays lands, says go. We're going to play Scamp and say go. And then we're just going to yield through this turn. They go Blood Tithe. We're going to go and put Cavern on Goblin. play our own Lord. They're going to block. We're going to deal 2 to them. Legion Loyalist is going to be good. Ooh, and they're cycling away a Lily. That way they could hit their land drop. Okay, Den of the Bugbear, clearing that off isn't too terrible. And I think here it's honestly better to go for the Snoop, because we want to get stuff off the top of our deck, and that is a hit if we have ever seen one. Opponent is gonna have to deal with our board. Sorin's the start. Vein Ripper's another good part. Okay. So, what can our opponent do here? So, we can go... We can go for Cacophony Scamp, make 4 double pump. Okay, let's do it. Because double pump is going to be big for us. Okay, we're just going to swing right at our opponent. Do we? No. All right. Now, could we have done anything just a little bit different there? Maybe? Okay, so our opponent's hitting us for a bunch. Alright, and our opponent plays the Snorse. We draw that. And I really want to play out just the couple of creatures that are in our hand here. Yeah, because there's really not that much of a way for us to do anything super impactful this turn. Next turn we can go for a Battlecry Goblin and hope that they don't have any more removal. Okay, they shock in a Blood Crypt. They pump that. They're just swinging for 7 in the air with Lifelink and Death Touch. Up to 19. And a Karn's Silex. That is such an interesting pickup for our opponent here. Okay. We're going to make 5 mana. Do that. We're going to pump the team. All right, can we get there? Our opponent is going to kill us next turn. But we really got to hope. Hope beyond hope. Okay. I don't think we get there just quite. Unfortunately, I think our opponent does have us here. The Karn Silex is such an interesting inclusion. Okay. We hit our opponent all the way down to 5, but it's not gonna help. Oh, so close. So close. All right. Sideboarding, and we're going to be on the play. Is there anything that we want to bring in? I think, honestly, we're good with sideboarding, so let's just run it back. All right, game number 3. We're going to be on the play, and hand is very bad. Hand is better, but it just needs a land. One land can change the course of this game. Okay, we're going to start with a Scamp Sego. Come on, deck. Land off the top. Oh, deck. Why? We could have been so close. Always yield, but we will say no to this ability right now. Okay, if we just had some reliable way to deal with the Vein Rippers besides the Witch Stalker's Frenzy, I feel like we'd be in such a better spot. Land. No land. Okay. Okay. No. Sego. Oh, losing to no land is going to be so bad, especially if they just have it here. Okay, Karn Silex. What do we want to do here? So, Roundabout Horde Master's probably an okay play. Like, sure, they're going to blow up our creatures, but we do get this interesting. Oh, they blow up the ley line too. That's good. Okay, okay. Ooh, and the other ley line. Deck Y. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just play this Conspicuous Snoop from exile. Battlecry Goblin is the next card. Opponent is playing their lands. They kill our Snoop. And yeah, we might be pretty dead in the water here. You know what? Not for lack of trying to fight through everything. This was such a good hand. We could have gotten there. We might have punted away that second game with the double pump. And we could have just played Battlecry and then pumped. Okay. Opponent's getting in with a lot. They do just have all the removal. They discarded a extinction event. Opponent's just thoroughly prepared for an aggro deck. right, they got blockers for days. Yeah, there is that. Well, if our opponent wants it, they're going to have it. Will they kill both of our creatures with their Blood Tithe Harvesters? There is a good chance that they're going to. Take out one, take out two. Cycle away a mountain. Cycle away a Sulphurous Springs. Animate. Get in for 4. Okay. Not really sure there's much we can do to get back at this point. We can pump and see if they'll trade. Wow, they even go for the Bitter Triumph. Brutal. Alright, well, let's just give it one more turn. I doubt we're going to see a ringleader off the top, but that might be the one thing that could save us here. Another Harvester. Animate. They could have activated and swung for 7, but they're just going for the secure line. They'll probably copy it on their end step and then just get us for lethal the next turn. Ugh. They got us. GG opponent. Still not bad with a 3-2 finish. Enough to get our play points back. And we get a nice little treasure chest. So let's go crack that treasure chest and I'll see you guys with the wrap up. So not really the greatest treasure chest, but let's go ahead and look at mono red goblins. So overall the deck was pretty sweet for a 3-2 finish. Realistically, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of spirits, especially coming up in the DC RC meta. And we're probably not going to see a whole lot of this Goblins deck either, but it is really sweet. I feel like it does need some more tools to hopefully deal with the Niv to Light and the Rakdos Vampires matchup. Maybe dropping these Trash Masters for Tears of Valakut could be a good consideration. I love the Leyline of Combustions in the side. They definitely pulled their weight. As far as comparing this to something like Rakdos Goblins, with the whole graveyard and combo synergy that it possesses, it's really hard to say whether one of those is better than the other. They really just function on two completely different axes. Probably would say that I like the Rakdos version more, if only because it feels at the same time more interactive and more linear than this one does. Interactive because you can actually start playing to your opponent's board with all the sacrifice synergies, but more linear because you can just go face all the time with your sacrificing of Cacophony Scamp and the Fireblade Charger. But I do like this mono red build more, especially in a world where decks like Vampires exist that punishes us for realistically trying to sacrifice our creatures. And it is kind of good to have that, especially combined with the Leyline of Combustion, because since the Vein Ripper targets, we do basically negate the life gain that they get. Which again, is huge, but it's definitely something that you have to be pretty aware of. I was not expecting the Karn Silex sideboard play, and I really think that's what hosed us in that last matchup. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at MochaBeezy, and I'll see you guys with the next one. Peace. Peace.